Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of your favorite YouTube channel and podcast. Keep that same energy podcast with your host Justin P and my co-host, the man, the myth, the legend. My co-host, your co-host, Mr. Maurice Savage Jr. This is episode 225 for the YouTube version. For the audio version, is season five, episode 49. It's almost about to be season six. So the audio version is right there in the description below. Right along with me, myself, and Maurice's social media platforms where you can follow us as well. Make sure y'all like and subscribe. Oh man, so Maurice got a pretty good show for y'all. Sorry we've been a little absent. We want to definitely at least try to give y'all at least one show a week. That's the hey, you have our word on that. It might either be on Monday or Wednesday, whatever works for us. But we're gonna talk about the NBA NFL playoffs, wild card, divisional and conference championship, and we're gonna talk some NBA and among other things. So, ladies and gentlemen, no further ado, here's the man, the myth, the legend, my co-host, your co-host, the villain or the vigilante, whatever you prefer, Mr. Maurice Savage Jr. Yeah, yeah.
Hey man, as always, man, it feels good to be back. We're doing this with Big Bro. As always, man, this is a pleasure doing this, man. This is what we do, man. We've been doing this for about almost 2 years now, man. Give you some good products, some good content. We ain't gonna never stop. As always, man, I'm here. We here to give you some opinions. You know what I'm saying? Something that we really think about, something that we almost believe to be true because it is true. And of course, we're gonna hit you with some emotions. But when it comes to sports, it comes from right here because that's where your emotions come from, right here. But at the end of the day, those emotions and opinions don't matter unless we're hitting you with the facts.
That's a fact, Jack. But it's 3 years, co-host. 3 years. 3 years.
Oh
Three.
shit, 3 years. Damn,
Yeah,
my
yeah,
bad
yeah.
about that. We've been doing it for a minute. 3 years. I love it. Keep going strong, baby.
That's it. All right, what you got for us tonight?
Okay, topic number one. Give me your candidates or who's flat out rookie of the year.
Uh, Candidates for rookie of the year. That's tough. That's tough. I haven't really been paying attention to the rookies like that, but let's see. Hmm. We can go with Victor Wembanyama, of course. He's my favorite. He's been doing his thing. Uh, Kason Wallace for the Thunder. He's been coming off the bench, giving us some good points, good minutes. Who else? The Thompson twins. Both of them have been playing pretty good basketball. So and Brandon Miller. How can I forget about Brandon Miller? So those my candidates right there. But if I had to solely pick somebody, it'd be Victor Wembanyama by far, or Chet Holmgren. Chet Holmgren is eligible to win this award too because he ain't played last year. So it'd be either Chet or Wemby. But if I had to take one, I'll take Chet.
Hey man, good take on that. For me, I thought it was obvious. Even though the topic was candidates, I was straight obvious. It was either Victor or it was going to be Chet Holmgren, straight like that. I kind of thought Tech was going to come back and not be the guy that he was supposed to be. He came back with the beard. He getting numbers. He dunking on people. He stepped back and hitting threes. I mean, he's exactly what I thought he was going to be. Probably a little bit maybe in his like college what's names. I was like, man, he too little. He not going what's name. And then I had one of my homeboys say, yo, remember Kevin Durant was little like that and got a little bit muscle and became an unstoppable scorer. And lo and behold, you see what the OKC Thunder doing. I ain't got to spend too much on it. But the only reason why I think he not going to probably get rookie of the year because all eyes is set on this unique unicorn, Victor. Well, I can't say his last name right. I just call him Victor all the time. But we know who I'm talking about, Wambi. But he unstoppable. He's doing hella plays this year. We talking about alley hoops to himself. I mean, going behind your back on Dame Leonard and then dunking on Brook Lopez. I mean, he's doing some 90s shit, getting superstars and star players in posters, crossing them up. He unstoppable. I think the only problem with the Spurs, and even though this is not a conversation about the Spurs in general, he needs help. I mean, he clearly looked like Tim Duncan out there with nobody. I mean, imagine if Tim Duncan didn't have Manu, Bruce Bowen, Tony Parker, Avery Johnson, or even Dave Robinson. Victor has nobody. Nobody. You can't even name nobody else on the team besides this. So by far, they get all their wins because of the guy. Everybody across the world comes to see him, not the Spurs play. So by far, even though those two are my candidates, By far, Victor got it, and it's a runaway still. All right, topic two. Now, topic two. This is going to get dangerous because it's a lot of good players right now, and a lot of good players that stepped up, like Shea Gilly Alexandra. So, for me, give me your top five NBA MVP candidates.
You gotta go Luka Doncic, of course. He's one. You always gotta put LeBron James in the mix because he's keeping the Lakers afloat. Nikola Jokic, like you said, Shea Gillis Alexander, Joel Embiid, and I'll go Jason Tatum, and I'll give you one more. I'll go Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay, okay. I can't be mad at your list. I can't be mad at you. Maybe not Giannis a little bit, only because I would expect them to have the best record in the league. But I got you because Giannis is still unstoppable. That's why you're Greek freak. For me, my shit is really in order. My shit is in order. Who I think should get MVP. Number one on my list is Shea Gilly. Shea Gilly by far. I mean, there's these other guys I'm going to name. They clearly can win MVP, and they still in the race for it. The season is not over yet. We're just getting to the middle. But by far, Shea Gilly, what he's doing with those guys, I mean, come on, man, it's a complete turnaround. They're playing totally different. The team is looking unstoppable. This is the thing. I said this to you before. I said this on this show plenty of times. I said it to you. If the Thunder get all those young guys healthy, it's a wrap. And lo and behold, it's showing. It ain't no debate about it. I think to me, they're the scariest team in the league because they give me Golden State Warriors type vibe. When the Golden State Warriors were young, Steph Curry, young, Klay Thompson, Draymond Green, young, you couldn't stop those guys. And that's what OKC is giving me. And one thing I can say about OKC, and even though this about Shea Gilly, they always seem to draft right and make the right trades to stay in competition. I'm not going to lie. Whoever got something to do with the OKC Thunder, I'm starting to give them, they have the best GM and best scouters of all time. It's not no debate. We're talking about right now, OKC has only been out for about, 15, maybe 20 years, the Oklahoma City Thunder. And they every time they drafted somebody was a Hall of Famer. Every time. I mean, damn near every time. I mean, Jeff Green, if he would have kept being good, he would have been a Hall of Famer. But we talking about Hall of Famers, of course, KD, Russell Westbrook, you feel me? And Harden. But I ain't gonna lie, Steven Adams got a strong case for a Hall of Fame ballot. I mean, especially what he did all those years and all that shit. Then we doing it with the Grizzlies. And then you got Shea Gilly. You just drafted Chet Holmgren. And what's the guy that I couldn't get his name right last week?
Jalen Williams.
Oh man, another guy. I mean, come on. Come on. So I ain't gonna stick too long on that because I'll be all day. But the second one, Brunson. I ain't gonna lie, man. That boy Brunson are the Knicks. The Knicks are the hottest team in the NBA right now. It's not even no debate. I think they're on like an 8-9 game winning streak. They unstoppable. They're getting the job done, and it's led by this guy, consistently busting people asses. Consistently. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I thought once he left the Mavericks, he was just going to be your basic player and this, that, and the third. I thought he was going to be more like a Devin Harris. How Devin Harris, when he left the Mavs, he went to New Jersey. He just became an all-star and a leading scorer type guy. I thought the same thing was going to happen to Brunson, but no, he got playoff aspirations right in front of his eyes, and he busting people ass. I haven't seen nobody with a left hand bust ass like this and be an MVP candidate since my Celtics, Isaiah Thomas. Number two, Joel Embiid. I think Joel Embiid, if he stopped bullshitting around, you feel me, and stay healthy, I think he could surpass Joker as being the best player in the league and being the best center. I mean, right now he's playing dangerous. The boy just had 70. I mean, if I was his coach, I would have tried to let him get 80, just to tie 81, just to tie it up with Kobe or even surpass him. But I mean, hold your business. And he did that when he dropped the 70. It was on the death of Kobe or Kobe's birthday. It was even one of those two where he dropped the 70. No, matter of fact, it was the day when he dropped 70 was the same day that Kobe Bryant dropped the 81, because that's what it was. It was the anniversary of the 81 Kobe Bryant drop. Joel Embiid at 3. Number 4, Jason Tatum. I mean, my man Jason Tatum is making a strong case for it, but it's too much team going down there with the Celtics where you can clearly tell, Jason Tatum, you're the leader, you're the leading scorer, you're the man to go to. But this team is legit. We just can't say you're the MVP, you're the heart and soul of this team, because there's a lot of heart and souls on this team. And number 4, Tyree Halliburton. Oh my God. The boy, unstoppable. I just watched, even though my Celtics won last night, He was unstoppable. It was nothing they could do about this guy. Nothing they could do. And he, of course, he's keeping the Pacers. And that's another team. I think the Pacers are on the same level as the Thunder. Far as the Pacers always have scrubs or good people or superstars, and they make the playoffs with the scrubs, the superstars, and the stars. So I mean, I gotta give credit where it's due. And then last but not least, I can't have this without Joker. I mean, Joker literally can do everything. He's a big ass LeBron James. I mean, literally, we got a center bringing the ball up the court, scoring from everywhere, and we already know he just hit the game-winning shot last week. You feel me? No hesitation. So those are my top five, and my honorable mention was the Joker. All right, some more NBA going on right now, and I know you probably ain't going. I'm gonna let you start off with the West first, but right now, you feel we're gonna do power rankings. Give me your 8 top teams in the West, and then follow up with your 8 top teams in the East.
Timberwolves, Thunder, Nuggets, Suns, the Kings. How many is that right there?
You said the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Suns, the Kings, the Timberwolves. You got 5.
Yeah, Thunder. No
Okay.
particular order. I'm just listening to things. It's six. I gotta get two more. I'll go with the Lakers and the
Okay.
Pelicans.
I definitely like the Pelicans. All right. What's up with your East? Who you got for the East?
Boston, Philly, Milwaukee, New York,
Mm-hmm.
Indiana.
Mm-hmm.
How many is that? Four.
You said the Nuggets, New York, the
Nah,
Sixers.
I already said the
Oh, my bad,
Nuggets
my
for the
bad,
West.
my bad. Because the Knicks, the Celtics, the 76ers. You just
Bucks,
said the Bucks, and you said the Pacers. You got
Pacers,
5.
the Miami Heat.
That's 6.
Hmm, this last two gonna be tricky. Let's go with the Nets.
Mm-hmm.
For eight, you can go with the Atlanta Hawks.
Mm. And they played good last night too. Um, For me, I got the same exact list as you have, no particular order. But I got the Heat. I definitely like what the Heat did, bringing my boy Terry Rozier over there. I'm definitely excited about that. I'm definitely to see Terry Rozier over there got a shot to do his thing. After that, I'm going with my Celtics. Of course, I really think this is the chance that they could win the NBA Finals. I think if they do go to the NBA Finals, they probably even going to be playing against the Thunder or Clippers, where they will have a chance. I don't want to see them face the Nuggets. Um, at 3, I'm going with the Bucks. They always up there in the top. Only thing I can say is I'm a little bit upset with the Bucks. I assume because we've seen it happen with LeBron James, we've seen it happen with so many super teams or teams that look super, where you go from being this to straight up number one. There's no debate. I was expecting Giannis and Dame Dollar. I was expecting them to be at least competing for the Warriors record of 73-9. I thought they would at least have a chance at that. So I said the Celtics, the Heat, the Bucks. I'm going with the 76ers, of course. After the 76ers, I'm going to go with the Nuggets. After the Nuggets, I'm going to go with the Nets. I'm going to go with Atlanta. And it's tough right now. It's tough right now. Ah, Orlando. Orlando. Because at one point in time, Orlando had the best record in the East. So I got to put Orlando up there. They handle their business. They doing what they got to do. And Orlando, y'all hear me saying it right here live on the show. Orlando will be in the playoffs this year. All right, when it comes to the West, by far, I think the best team in the West right now is the Thunder. The second best team, in my opinion, is the Clippers. The Clippers turn that thing around. James Harden is almost MVP discussion because I don't know what happened. He's playing like a different James. Maybe it's a West thing. Maybe he got to stay in the West where he can put his numbers up and do his thing. So I got Thunder at 1, Clippers at 2. The Nuggets ain't never going nowhere because they're the defending champs. I got them at 3. The Timberwolves at 4. 5. The Kings. I'm a huge Kings guy. Watch every day De'Aaron Fox do. At 6, I'm going to go with the Suns. Of course, you can't never give them, especially having Kevin Durant and Bradley Beal. Good to see Bradley Beal heavy. Number 7, I'm going with the of course, I gotta go with the Lakers. Anytime LeBron James is on there, you gotta give credit where it was due. And at 8. At 8. I'm gonna go with the Mavericks at 8. I'm gonna go with the Mavericks at 8. I like what they're doing. They got a lot of good scorers over there. Everybody can shoot, everybody handling their business. And I think probably probably besides watching Cat, and that's crazy. I watched a lot of games this year. Besides watching that Timberwolves game with Cat Williams, had 62. And that was on the same day, the anniversary of Kobe Bryant's 81. The best game I've seen this far, and I think when uh both of them had 40. Luka Doncic and Kyrie both had 40 in the same game. It was ridiculous. It was a sight to see. They was unstoppable. And then I got to add one more game. When I think Kyrie had 30 something and Tim Hardaway Jr. came off the well, he took Luka's spot because Luka was hurt and he dropped 40. So I ain't gonna lie. Mavericks got my attention. I'm watching them like a mug. Okay. Next up, I'll start off with you. Give me your thoughts on that first round of the playoffs, the wild card. And you can choose any game that you want.
We can start with Cowboys Packers because that shit was horrible, man. You the
Yeah.
number two seed, you had the number seven seed in your house, like bro. You gotta win that game, man. And Jordan Love, man, picked them apart, man. Over 200 something yards. A couple touchdowns. Dak threw two pick sixes, I think. You know, it was crazy. Aaron Jones had two, three touchdowns. Dak and them started moving the ball late in the second half when Green Bay took these starters out. But man, it was a demolition job by the Packers, man. So yeah, that was the game. That was like, ooh, I was like that was a guaranteed win out of all the wild card games. But it's with
Mm.
the Cowboys being the Cowboys.
Oh, that's all. Oh, all right, okay. Well, for me to speak on that game, all I was gonna say is I'm shocked. I thought this was the game where the Cowboys really get over the hump. I mean, not to even give you a little clown kudos. I mean, but I was expecting you to beat these guys. They didn't have Aaron Rodgers, even though some people that do Lord jabs and Lord cheap shots. Hey man, you beat the Packers. It was Jordan Love. He's not Aaron. It was no way you supposed to let Aaron. I use no way you supposed to let Jordan Love come in there and tear you up like Aaron Rodgers, and that's what he did. He tore you up like Aaron Rodgers. He didn't come in there and manage the game. He didn't come there and win the game by luck. Things went their way. No, he really came out there playing like Aaron Rodgers. I kind of thought the Packers, if he would have kept playing like how he was, I kind of thought the Packers was going to go to the AFC championship, excuse me, the NFC championship versus the 49ers. But this was a crazy ass game. All I would have to say is overall is you guys need more wide receivers over there for Dallas because I mean, after CD Lamb, it was nothing else. I mean, Brandon Cooks give you little shines and little spurts here and there, but we all saw it's nowhere near the same. You should have kept Amari Cooper. If you would have kept Amari Cooper, I think you guys go better. But I think it was you guys were so much in a rush to make CD Lamb the man and not realize how good that Amari Cooper was a good compliment to him. But nevertheless, it was no way that the Cowboys were supposed to lose that game. All right, what's the next game for you?
Uh, the Texans and the Browns, man. The Texans dismantled the Browns. Like everybody swore the Browns with Joe Flacco was going to come and lead the way and just cruise on past them. And C.J. Stroud and company was like, not today, not today. Joe Flacco threw two pick sixes. C.J. Stroud had over 270 yards, three touchdowns. Like they stomped them. Devin Singletary went off. Oh man, 45-14, man. The Texans, got their first playoff win since 2019. And shout out to D'Amico Ryan's. He turned the organization around. Everything that went on with Deshaun Watson and the owners and all this other stuff. And Bill O'Brien got that team competitive and got a division title in his first year. And I think that's more. I think that's first of many, because the division gonna come out of them in Jacksonville unless Anthony Richardson and Will Levis, step up to the plate. But it's gonna be those two teams.
All right, to comment real quick to go off bases a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, that's probably gonna be the most dangerous division. Y'all, they got too many young quarterbacks who are lights out. I mean, we all forgot about the guy from the Colts. Remember, he was doing his thing before he got hurt. You feel me? And the same thing with Trevor Lawrence, had to work his way in. CJ Stroud, he didn't have to work his way in. But to go back to the game, I feel like, first of all, D'Amico Ryan's hands down coach of the year. You did what you did with a rookie quarterback. Your rookie quarterback led the league in passing. He could have also won MVP of this league. And as you said, division winners, and you get a first round win, and then you get a first round win in dominant fashion. And mind you now, D'Amico Ryans was a former linebacker for the Texans. So That goes to show you how much his head and his IQ is into the game for them to win like the way they did, 40 plus to 14. And then that's one last thing I'm gonna add before we go to the next game is let's not forget Joe Flacco threw two pick sixes back to back. Back to back. It wasn't like he threw a
Hmm.
pick six and they drove down the field. No, he threw two pick sixes back to back, which really what the game was super really over. And I'm last thing I'm going to add before I hand it back over to you. I really wanted to see Browns versus the Ravens. I swear, I wanted to see Joe Flacco play at least one more time in M&T Bank Stadium, and of course, I wanted him to lose. But I would have loved to see the Browns versus the Ravens. What's the next game you got?
Okay. Rams and Lions. That was the closest game of the wild card weekend, man. Those two teams were at it. Two former quarterbacks going against their former team. Stafford that won the Super Bowl already. So Goff probably had the most to prove in this game because like you trade me. You felt like I was the reason why we didn't win a Super Bowl because they did get to a Super Bowl with Goff, but they lost. Only put up 3 points. That was a good game. It was 24-23. The Lions, man. Jameer Gibbs, your boy from Alabama, who I wasn't really sold on, but he been balling out this year, man. Amon St. Brown was doing his thing, had a couple touchdowns, but like I said, Stafford came down with Puka Nacua, Cooper Cup, Kyron Williams. And Raheem Morris did a great job with the Rams defense for it to have a lot of no-name guys on there. That's why he got this job now with the Falcons, man. So that was the best game of the World Cup prior to playoffs. That game right there, Rams and Lions.
Oh yeah, by far. I'm going to agree with you on that. I probably will say the last game that the Lions played against the 49ers, maybe, but I'm gonna get back to the point. First of all, I definitely had the Lions going all the way to the Super Bowl. That's number one. Let me go and get that out the way. But when they was playing against the Rams, that vibe was coming in like I think the Rams gonna win this game because the Lions hopped on them early, but then they was at a standstill. I think the Lions only beat them by 3 points or some shit like that, and when technically it could have been a blowout or something like that. But I got to give Rams credit with his due. Matt Stafford, he's given us that last of the dying breed quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is next too. But I mean, he was there handling his business, still doing no look passes, still completing it. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to Manoku. I think he done probably extended Matt Stafford years in the league, probably to 2, maybe 3 more years. I'm gonna stick with 2 though. Matt Stafford handled his business, did what he had to do. It was just that the Lions, this was their year. This was their year to really show that we're going to the next level, and we are at the next level. So shout out to my man Jameer Gibbs, of course. Shout out to Jameson Williams. I mean, far as with the Lions and their defense, they came to play. So I gotta give credit where it was due. What's the next game you got?
Eagles and Bucks, man. The Eagles were 10-1. And like I said, they only won 1-6 down the stretch. They started getting beat up at the wrong time, switching defensive coordinators. They had lost their two previous coordinators and went to the Super Bowl. They both took head coach jobs, Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon of the Colts and Cardinals. So they had a lot of turnover there. So they had the guy die and Brian Johnson. They didn't live up to the billing. So Baker Mayfield picked them apart, man. They ran all over him. Man. Like I said, Jalen Hurts was the only person that showed up. He had 250 yards, a touchdown. He had like 60 yards rushing. But AJ Brown, we don't know if he'll be there or not. It's like it's some turmoil going on with him and Nick Sirianni. The Bucks took it to him, 32-7, man. Baker probably could win comeback player of the year. To be truthful with you, the Bucks dominated the game from start to finish.
The only thing I'm gonna have to say about the Eagles game, and I don't even really think I'm gonna be speaking on the Eagles game. I'm just gonna be speaking on the Eagles period. The first thing I first, no disrespect, but LeBron James, I gotta say this. Even though this is football, I gotta add you in it. LeBron James, I kind of hate that you brought this. That's like I hate that Steph Curry brought the 3 point and everybody wants you. I hate that LeBron James, his final 2 years on the Cavaliers, he said this shit. Yo, we'll just turn it up on playoffs, which was true. He said when we get to playoffs, we'll turn it up and we'll be in the NBA Finals, which was true. When you said that, LeBron James, you are an influence. Guess what they were saying about the Eagles? Everybody was saying we'll just turn it on through the playoffs. Mind you, now this team was like 10-1 or some shit like that, 10-1, 10-2. But that's what they said. We'll turn it up during the playoffs. And what happened is when you turn it up during the playoffs, just like LeBron James was doing, LeBron James was at least winning games before he got to the playoffs, and that fed up and got him what it needed to be. You guys didn't do that. You guys didn't do that. And you had it easy too. No disrespect. The Bucks got some defense. They ain't no sluts. But You had one of the quarterbacks who got talked about as being a bust and one of the most highest throwing interception quarterbacks of all time. Your secondary is supposed to jump on that. Your defense is supposed to jump on that. And then you, as a quarterback, Jalen Hurts, you supposed to take over that game. This supposed to have been a blowout the opposite way. It was supposed to have been a blowout, not even close. Because this was the game that you were supposed to use to climb up on and go to the next level. I really had the Eagles winning this game and then losing in the next round. However, Baker Mayfield bust your ass. He did what he got to do. And then I think this game helped Baker Mayfield extend his NFL career. Probably going to put a little bit more money in his pocket. And it was a good Eagles defense he did this shit against. And all I'm going to say is, Eagles, you lost the Super Bowl. So how do you have a Super Bowl hangover? What's the next game you got?
Dolphins and Chiefs, it was below 30 out there. Dolphins, they didn't really want to play. They just super worried about the weather. So, the Chiefs just picked them apart. Rashid Rice, was catching underneath passes, tearing up the field. Devon A. Chain and Mostert, like I said, them guys was just ready to go to South Beach and just go party. Because, like I said, the game in Miami, I think it'd have been a different outcome. But like I said, unfortunately, they didn't win the last game against the Bills. So they had to go. Once I realized they had to go on the road and play in that cold, I said, yeah, they done. They done. But KC did they thing. Kelsey, you scored. Pacheco ran hard. And the Chiefs defense been playing lights out all postseason besides the Bills game. So yeah, they beat them 26-7 or 14 or something like that. So yeah, the Chiefs won the game like I figured. Like I said, the Dolphins can't play in cold weather.
What I'm adding to that is the only good thing that came from the Dolphins is that Tyreek Hill got a chance to score against his opposing team, and it wasn't one of them bullshit scores where a double reverse or a 2-yard touchdown. Nah, that touchdown he scored was a fucking monster type touchdown. However, I feel like this: if this was in Miami, the game would have been better. But I think Patrick Mahomes still would have passed, did it what he got to do. I mean, come on, look how Patrick Mahomes played in the cold. Imagine what he would have did if he was warmed up playing in South Beach weather. So all I'm gonna have to say is, man, Dolphins, no excuse, man. You got to step it up. You wanted this challenge. You know you're gonna have to beat these teams. It's just that simple, Miami. You're gonna have to beat the Bills. You're gonna have to beat the Chiefs. You're gonna have to beat the Ravens. And hell, CJ Stroud just made a big case. You're gonna have to beat these guys. So put the pedal to the metal. Get back on your game and get where you need to be, because this was senseless right here. I mean, you got beat senseless with this shit right here. I was expecting this game to at least go to overtime. I was expecting Tyreek Hill, not to say he didn't take the game personal, but I was expecting to be more personal, where it was a lot of scoring, going back and forth type shit. But I mean, it was more like this. Tyreek Hill, you wanted to leave, and the Chiefs defense said, we know who this guy is. We know how he play. You feel me? You may have had that little funny little touchdown, but we're gonna make sure you ain't got shit to do with this game. And they did a good job of that. And all I'm gonna have to say is, man, next year, Miami, try again harder. And if we're gonna use what Big Bro Justin said, we're gonna use that excuse. Make sure you get home field advantage. That's all I gotta say. You ready for the next round?
Yes, sir. Oh no, we ain't talk about. Oh, it's one game we didn't talk about.
Oh, my bad.
Bills and Steelers, man. Like the Steelers locked up to the playoffs, gonna be laid down. Buffalo just, took them apart. Josh Allen did his thing. Diggs just moved the ball on. James Cook killed him, and like I said, Mason Rudolph was just flat out awful. George Pickens scored a touchdown, but it was in garbage time. The Bills took them apart 31-17. Should have been 34, but they decided to go for it. Got stopped. But yeah, the Bills dominated that game.
All I'm gonna say is this. I mean, as far as on the Steelers, the only upside is, hey, you made the playoffs. That's it. The only upside is still is that you made the playoffs. And I knew that you guys were going to play okay, but I knew you wasn't going to win this game at all. To me, this was one of the games exactly what happened. Josh Allen took advantage of a team that's just based on defense right now, and the offense is subpar. You feel me? And barely can get the job done. You barely got a running game. You barely got a passing game. And it's more like you barely got a passing game because of the quarterback. Because one thing I know about the Pittsburgh Steelers always draft good wide receivers. It's not even no debate. They always have good wide receivers. You literally got a whole bunch of talent of good wide receivers on your team right now, but shitty ass quarterback play. So I knew this was going to happen. I knew it was going to be a blowout. And I knew Josh Allen was going to do his thing. That's all I got to say.
Okay, all right, let's get ready for the divisional round. The divisional round start off with Ravens Texans, man. Like I said, first half was close because, like I said, we didn't play in 2 weeks, but second half we came out gunning. Maul did his thing, rushed for 100 yards, threw for 150, threw 2 touchdowns, rushed for 2 touchdowns. So he accounted for all 4 touchdowns. The defense was amazing, only allowed 200 yards of offense and 3 points. The punt return was, I mean, over 70 scores on our punt was on our special teams, which was, we cleaned that up. But yeah, we dominated. Once Lamar got everybody together, and had a little pep talk, we just smacked them guys around.
Um, well, for me, I ain't gonna lie. I thought the game was gonna be a little bit closer. And what I mean when I say closer, you know how at the half it was 10-10. I expected it to keep on going like that the whole entire time. But eventually, that defense woke up and realized that's one thing I do love about the Ravens the most. When they play against rookie quarterbacks, I think the only rookie quarterback that ever won against them niggas was Mitchell Trubisky, and he beat them with only throwing three passes out the whole game. But I love how the Ravens turned it up on defensive wise. That's the reason why I thought the Ravens were going to go to the Super Bowl against the Lions, because I was like, hey man, even if Lamar Jackson don't play his best, that defense is going to get turnovers, better field position. Deborah Duvernay might do something slick or skillful on a punt return or kick return. Lamar Jackson, all you got to do is just get in field goal range or get some touchdowns, something to happen. Way to get the job done, to be tied at the half and then realize like, yo, we're Super Bowl bound. And that's exactly what they did. They felt they were Super Bowl bound, turned it up a little bit more, and they got in the Texans' ass as they should. Next game.
Chiefs and Bills. That was a pretty good game. 27-24. Chiefs. The Bills rushed for over 200 yards. James Cook had 130 some yards. Josh Allen only had 175 yards. But he had 2 rushing touchdowns and the passing touchdown. Diggs had a quiet game. He had like 60 yards, but he had a crucial job. And the Bills were depleted on defense, so it definitely hurt them. But Patrick Mahomes had what 215 touchdown. Pacheco 100 something yards. Travis Kelsey had 2 touchdowns. So yeah, it was a hell of a game. But the Bills more so gave it away than the Chiefs won.
All right, I gotta throw this in there. There's some rumors that Stephon Diggs might be gone about it. New York Giants. There's rumors that Stephon Diggs might be out of there. All right, now let's get back to reality. Well, the first thing I'm going to say is this, and I'm gonna see if you feel the same way how I feel. We all know Patrick Mahomes is the next Tom Brady. When Tom Brady was doing his thing, Joe Flacco and Peyton Manning couldn't beat this guy. But when they won that Super Bowl, Joe Flacco and Peyton Manning went through Tom Brady to get it done after losing to this guy a lot of times. Lamar Jackson lost to the Chiefs a lot of times. Josh Allen lost to the Chiefs a lot of times, especially in the games that count. So my only thing that I can say is in for hope that at least Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson should at least get one Super Bowl on their way defeating Patrick Mahomes one time. Now let's talk about the game. Uh, I mean that's all I can say is man, they try their best. It's always seemed they always come up short. They lucky during the season that Kadarius Toney was offsides because they would have lost that game as well. But for
Mm-hmm.
me, it's just as simple as that. You always keep coming up short. You always keep coming up a play short. As you said, Diggs dropped a crucial first down. I can't wait to talk about the Lions game, NFC Championship. But I mean, it's literally like that. I mean, you lost it because of that. And then for real, I mean, Bills, you got to get that running game going. You play in cold weather, even if whether you have home field advantage or not, everywhere you're gonna play is gonna be cold. You got to get that running game together. I know we want to make Josh Allen the MVP and this, that, and the third and all that. Do MVP during the season. In the playoffs, you need your running game available and you need consistent wide receiver play. And all I gotta say is Diggs, it's looking bad for you. You still one of the top wide receivers in the league, but you definitely shrunk a lot. And all I gotta say is this, man. Josh Allen, one day you will get yours. I hope you do. I hope one day you do get yours because it's looking real bad. The Chiefs are your kryptonite. You feel me? So, great game nonetheless. But we'll see what happens next year.
Next one's the Bucks and Lions. This was a hell of a game. Baker Mayfield started off good. He was moving the ball. He had over 300 yards passing, a couple touchdowns. But then he threw the pick at the end, the loss from the game. He had to come down. He had a chance to come down, tied down 8. The loss was 31-23. Yeah, so and they missed the extra. And right and Todd Bowles wanted to go for two. I don't know why. He just took the extra point and been down by even seven. He wanted to go for two. I don't know. I guess he thought he would get the ball back, score, and win the game by one. But you got to get the stat first. So he that was a little dicey. Jameer Gibbs had a hell of a game. Golf did his thing. Morase Brown did his thing. Jack Campbell's all over the place. So was Brian Branch. Cam Sutton had a tough game because Mike Evans, wore him out, had over 100 yards and couple touchdowns. Lions, man, two playoff wins. They won two playoff games in this playoffs more than a lot some teams did in 20 years. So definitely shout out to Dan Campbell. We got them boys playing
Um, well, for me, before I get into the whole in details of the game, I got to talk to the main point of the game, which lost it. Baker Mayfield, who the fuck was you throwing that ball to? That wasn't even close. That interception had me thinking, and I'll talk about. I'm gonna save this rigged word later for the Ravens game, but yo, that almost gave me rigged down there. He was super covered, and he was double covered. It wasn't no way you can get he. It was. I looked at that play over and over again because I got shout out to one of my best friends, Jay Cruz. I watched that play over and over again because my boy was like, "Yo, who the fuck was he throwing it to? Who was he throwing that to? He was totally covered. He had a guy over top of him and a guy in front of him. Who were you throwing that to? Baker Mayfield remind me of a worse Brett Favre. That's all I can say. But to get back to the game, here go a game that the Lions could have lost. Lions could have lost this game easily. Lucky for them, they had their opportunities to seal the deal and win the game, and it's that and third. Shout out to Jameer Gibbs. I thought the game was over when he scored his touchdown, to be honest. I thought the game was over when he scored his touchdown. But I mean, they were still let up in there. And I gotta go what you said. The math didn't make any sense. If that was me when we scored a touchdown, we're going to get that touchdown to field goal. And then we'll worry about trying to win the game by one at the end and all that shit. But for the most part, you get them points on the board. Because I mean, if you think about it, you took 3 points off the board. I mean, hold on. You missed both conversions, I believe. You feel? Matter of fact, you didn't even get a chance to get the conversion because you threw an interception. But I mean, look at that shit. You ruined your game and you ruined your chances. So, I mean, all I can say is Baker Mayfield, you did extend yourself with a playoff win, playing the way you did. But I think if you would have won that game and took your team to the NFC Championship, we would have been saying Baker Mayfield is back. But once you threw that stupid, ridiculous interception, we all said the same thing. This is the same Baker Mayfield. What's the next game? Or matter of fact, it's the next division, right? Or the next round, right?
No, 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 no. Packers and 49ers. That was a hell of a
Oh yeah.
game too. Jordan Love, man, was playing great the whole game, man, and they were going back and forth. But blown out returns made through two costly interceptions. Darius Savage, man, he might not be a Packer this year. My brother's a Packer fan. He said he wanted
Darn,
gone.
darn.
Yeah, Don Savage. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He came down. McCaffrey came running downhill at him. He had the tackle. He stuck his arm. I don't know if you saw it. As a DB, you still got to get the ball and make
Yeah.
tackles. And then he dropped the pick six. So yeah, it was crazy. And Jordan Love, you don't never throw that ball across your body. Throw it out of bounds. You get in field goal range. I know your kicker missed one, but you try to get in field goal range, take off, scramble, whatever, get a couple yards, and let them try to tie the game. But it was a good game, man. The 49ers fought back. Like I said, they were down both playoff games, which we're going to talk about in it once we finish this one. Yeah, it's just, the Packers definitely blew it, man. But, shout out to Shanahan for the Niners keep fighting.
Here go another moment. I'm gonna get into details, but I don't want to use the word rig again. And the reason why I'm saying you talked about it just now. Who the fuck was you throwing it to, Jordan Love? I remember that play vividly. You threw an interception to a linebacker. You threw it across your body in the middle of the field, and the guy you threw it to was covered, double covered. Here's two back-to-back playoff games with me and you talking about how the guy who was getting the ball passed to him was double covered every time. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if you guys think this is back in the day. I don't know if you guys think that you're really Brett Favre or you're Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, and you're doing that thing where they say throw between the tight window. Because we talking about two back-to-back games where you threw an interception while the game was on the line on the game-winning drive in double coverage. As you said, take the sack, throw it out of bounds, try to scramble and get some yards. You just took the whole game away. Two things that I hate. I mean, I'm a defensive guy. Yeah, I'm a defensive guy all day, and I only like it when it's for my team or when I personally am out there on the field. But I hate games that end with a sack. You don't get a chance to throw it unless it's my team, unless it's the Ravens or the Giants. I love it when, but anybody else I'm watching, I don't want it to end in the sack. I don't want it to end in the pick because I want to see good football. I want to see good games. But if I do see a pick, can you make the pick make sense? Not throwing the shit in double coverage. That's all I got to say for that. But I mean, Jordan Love, you played your ass off. You showed that you've been paying attention to what everything that Aaron Rodgers was showing you and was not showing you. You did your thing. You don't even have some of the most talented wide receivers or the best wide receivers. You're doing this shit with damn near practice squad players. You feel me? So I gotta give credit where it was due. But overall, 49ers handled their business. 49ers said, yo, we're determined to go to the Super Bowl, and we're not letting anything get in the way. And they did what they were supposed to do. They took advantage. And before I hand it over to you, again, man, we probably not even having this conversation if Darnell Savage get that interception. We probably not even having this conversation. So what's the next division, right? I mean, next round. I apologize.
Yeah, yeah. Conference championships, AFC and NFC championship games. I'll say the Ravens won for last. The NFC championship was a bang. Lions were up on the 49ers 24-7. Dan Campbell decided not to take two field goals, which would have made the score 37-34, and the Lions would have won by three. But instead, he won. He played Renegade ball at the wrong time. I guess he channeled his inner John Harbaugh and end up losing. Because that Lions team, like I said, I think the whole country was pulling for them since they never ever been to the Super Bowl. There's only four teams left that hasn't been to the NFL, been to the Super Bowl yet. It's the Texans, Lions, Browns, and Jaguars. So and three out of the four made the playoffs. So Jacksonville fell short. But everybody wanted them to make it. Barry Sanders was there, Megatron, Big Sean, Eminem.
Yeah, I saw it.
All of Detroit legends was in the house. So they were pull, so the whole world was pulling for them. But you can't pass up 1 point just the playoffs. You can do that in the regular season because if you lose, you got next week. In the playoffs, you have to take your points because you lose this, that's it. You clean out your lockers. So the 49ers always find a way to come back and win. So to both playoff games they were down, came back and won. So kudos to Shanahan and his staff and the players. And Brock Purdy was taking off, getting loose. To extend drives. So I gotta give him this credit because I've been real critical of him this season.
Um, well, for me, I mean, this what I was gonna say was the best game. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, high scoring. We talking about that was a total what? One team had 34, and the other team had 37. We talking about what 70 points scored or some shit like that between both teams combined. So it was the most high scoring game. And then I mean, as you said, man, I thought the game was over at 24-7. You feel me? They was handling their business, doing their thing. And I'm gonna say three things that lost. Well, to be real, I want to say four things that lost them the game. Number one, how you just said, this the playoffs. You don't go for it. Kick the field goal. It's just that simple. I'm sorry to say it, but when you come to the playoffs, yes, it'll come to field goal game. If every single chance you got to get to kick a field goal, I never forget. Not to compare Madden to real life, I never forget one of my greatest games I ever won was I kept kicking field goals, and a guy was up on me 21 to it was like 21-9, but I just kept kicking field goals. Now all of a sudden the game was 21-15. And I wind up winning, you feel me? Because score a touchdown, extra point, this game. You feel me? So I wind up winning. So I'm just saying, you got to take advantage of those field goals all day, every day, especially when you're in field goal range. We're not talking about a 50-yard field goal to 60-yard field goal to no shit. We're talking about the basics, 30 plus 40 yards. That's what you pay these kickers to do, to kick those kicks, to make those kicks. You did it twice. And to me, I think they lost the game because of this. Reynolds dropped 2 first downs back to back. We talking about the Lions fumble, Jameer Gibbs fumble, the 49ers score. The Lions are driving the ball down the field, about to be in field goal range and even touchdown range. He drops the pass. Then the 49ers score. You get the ball back and still have a chance to seal a deal and end the game. What happened again on third down? Reynolds dropped the pass. That was two drives in a row where they was first downs that could have been caught. You could have milked the clock, got a field goal, and game over. We're talking about the Lions in the Super Bowl right now. To me, those were the major things that stopped it. I want to give Brock Purdy his respect on running and this, that, and the third, but it's more of the Lions lost that game, more of the 49ers won it. So let's go ahead and talk about them Ravens. Go ahead.
I agree. Chiefs beat us 17-10. Like I said, we panicked as soon as they scored. We just went into panic mode. We were only down seven, and everything just went to shit. Like we started running the football. Gus had 3 carries for 20 yards, or 7 yards a clip. So my thing is like, why must be every time we play the Chiefs, it just becomes a showdown between Lamar and Patrick Mahomes. Football is not played this way. It's not basketball. These two players can't guard each other or be on the same field be on the field at the same time. They're going against each other's defenses. I get it. It's fun for fantasy football lovers and all that, but you seen what the Bills did. They gave us the blueprint. They had the 29th ranked pass rush defense. Run the ball.
Yes.
Run the ball, then throw the ball because they have two Pro Bowl corners. One of them was a pro and Trent McDuffie. So run the ball, soften them up, then play action pass. So Todd Monken got away from it. Harbaugh had been head coach, like man Shannon talked about yesterday. He got to walk up to him like, yo, hey, why Gus only got 3 carries, man? Come on, put the ball in his hands, man. Come on, let's run the ball. Soften them up. Then we're gonna take all the underneath stuff. Then we're gonna go over the top. 'Cause like I said, that's how Zay got the touchdown. He beat him over the top. It was gonna be there. Had we kept running the ball, it was gonna be there. Cause he gonna see one. He was gonna bring safeties up. Go cover zero, and then we was gonna take it up top. But the officiating definitely was horrible because, like I said, Travis Kelsey was being a clown all game. He didn't get nothing called on. Zay got taught and called on him. Which I'm not mad at the call, mad at him. But if you don't call it on one, call it on the other. But we just panicked, man. The defense, second half, they made their adjustments. They basically shut the Chiefs out. That's why Mike McDonald got the head coaching job now because the Seahawks owner. But you can put the shut on Patrick Mahomes for a second half. I like what you can do. But we just offensively didn't show up. Some of it wasn't my fault because he did try to force the ball and the coverage and all. And they got picked. But the offensive coordinator and the head coach has to settle the game down. Like, hey, we're not out of it. We're not down. Just like the 49ers, Shanahan letting them know, hey, we still in this thing. 17 points tonight. We gonna stick to the script. They're gonna make a mistake. Boom. We should have did the same way how we came up against the Texans. We should have did the same thing against the Chiefs. Underneath passes, take off, Lamar take off, run the ball, and then hit guys in the flat, hit guys going across the middle because that stuff was open all game. But yeah, it was disappointing, man. Like I said, we definitely got to look ourselves in the mirror because we're the better team, and we was gonna win the Super Bowl because the Niners the Niners since they won, we already smacked them in the mouth just like we did Detroit. So we blew a golden opportunity. Man, I'm still upset.
Yeah, because I was either way, it was going to be a rematch. It was going to be either rematch of the Super Bowl 49ers versus the Ravens, but it definitely would have been a rematch. And you already know we talked on the show when the Ravens played the Lions. I had the Lions winning that game, and I was excited. That's why I picked the Ravens and Lions to go to the Super Bowl. Lions ain't never been. It's about time for Lamar Jackson to take those guys there, and I think that would have been an entertaining Super Bowl. It probably would have been high scoring, straight high scoring, because I mean the Ravens defense, yeah, I understand they unstoppable, and I love the Ravens defense, but I felt like the Lions would have made some adjustments. We talking about a high scoring game back into the 30s and shit. But to get back to the game at hand, um, I feel like that game was rigged. I'm out of all the games that was played, I feel like that shit was rigged. I know there's some people that's going to disagree with me and say it was this and say the reason why I would say it was rigged. I mean, how the fuck the Ravens is the number one Russian offense for years. Since Lamar Jackson has been a Baltimore Raven, the Ravens have been top five, debatable top three rushing offense for years. Not every other year, not this year, that year, this year, every year. And you go to the Chiefs and you only your asset, what makes the Ravens strong is the running game. When you get to the game, you're one game away from the Super Bowl and you only rush the ball 6 times. You're the number one rushing attack. That's the equivalent of this. Patrick Mahomes. They always going to be in the top five of passing every year. He's going to be a top number one or not number two quarterback every year because of his passing ability. That's the equivalent if the Chiefs would have played us and all they did was just hand the ball off. We would have been looking at the Chiefs strings. Why Patrick Mahomes not throwing it? Where's Kelsey? Why they keep on handing it off to 10? Why they keep on doing these little gadget plays? Why they not passing it downfield? That's how I know. I would have looked at it like that. And to see that Lamar Jackson and those boys only passed the ball 6 times. I mean, only ran the ball 6 times. To see that damn near majority again. Hey, bro, now we've been doing this for 3 years. I've been saying this for the longest. The Ravens need wide receivers. The Ravens need wide receivers. I like Zay Flowers. The Ravens need wide receivers. We're gonna take Zay Flowers and put him over there because he's legit. Zay Flowers was the only wide receiver catching passes. It said it. It said it. Out of all the completions, Zay Flowers was the only one catching passes. And all I'm gonna have to say is this: I can't even get mad at Zay Flowers for trying to reach and score that touchdown and this, that, and the third. I mean, but hey, when you see your team playing the way they playing and shit not going to, you're going to do everything with all your might. And I gotta say, good play by Snead and all that. But I just feel like the game was rigged. It almost gave me Madden vibes. You know how it is in Madden. You could have to score 17-10 all day and throw 5 or 6 interceptions and still be in a game. And that's what they're having with the Ravens. Interceptions, turnover on downs, drop passes. Everything you can name was happening to the Ravens, and the score was still 17-10. It didn't go nowhere. It didn't go there. He threw an interception, turnover downs. Now we got 24. Now we got it stayed 17-10 the whole entire time. So Ravens, it's just that simple. Fuck it, you go get Stephon Diggs. Y'all need one more wide receiver. Baltimore Ravens, you need one more wide receiver because for people to say that there's because this is what you did with the cheap shit. You signed Odell Beckham, who does play like Stephon Diggs, but why you don't go get Stephon Diggs? That's what you need. You need that route runner, that young, healthy route. My prime example, when we won that Super Bowl, Anquan Bolden was still good. We didn't get Anquan Bolden with a half leg, with a half shoulder. Anquan Bolden was still good. When he left and went to the Lions and 49ers, he was still good. So you already know how good he was on the 49ers. I mean, you know how good he was on the Ravens. So all I'm going to have to say is, even though I said I want Stephon Diggs to go to Giants, Baltimore Ravens, go get that guy. That's what you need. You need a guy who you can reliable pass the ball to all the time. You need a tight end, how you did with Dennis Pitta. You got that in Mark Andrews. Hell, you got it in Likely. And then you need that speedster, Torrey Smith, Zay Flowers. You need it. And then you'll let Rashard Bateman be that Jacoby Jones. Catch a big touchdown here and there. Some surprising shit here and there. Because I ain't gonna lie, Rashard Bateman, I'm mad at you. You didn't step up even more. I don't even know if I want to blame you, but obviously you wasn't getting open. So all I'm gonna have to say is this, and what I'm gonna have to say is Ravens, don't draft a wide receiver. Go get one of these wide receivers and free agents that prove themselves and get to the Super Bowl. How many times you gonna keep giving Raven fans heart attacks? I mean, how much are you gonna keep legitimately doing this? You feel me? So all I had to say is, man, it was a great game nonetheless. Shout out to Patrick Mahomes doing what you want to do. As I already said, he already surpassing is my favorite quarterback all the time. He surpassed Aaron Rodgers. I already said it. You feel me? But next year, do better. I think the Ravens couldn't go to the Super Bowl next year. I don't see nothing major in the AFC that's scary besides the Chiefs. Maybe the Texans, but I'm still got the Ravens going to the Super Bowl.
Oh, well said. I agree with everything you said. Oh, that's it for tonight's show, man. Great topics. Co-host will be back, like I say, next Monday or Wednesday. Uh, you know, go ahead, do your thing, co-host.
Hey man, it's been a great show with me and Big Bro as always, man. We're gonna give you the best content that we can give you and give you the best facts that we can give you, not just be opinionated and emotional with it because we're talking about our teams. At the end of the day, you can find me on Facebook. My name is Maurice Savage Jr. If you can't find me on Facebook, which I know you will because it's Maurice Savage Jr., you can find me on Instagram, I_AM_the_the Pharaoh. That's me, baby. It's DB life or it ain't no life at all.
I know what I'm gonna say. Make sure you be great on your way to the figure eight, and always, and I mean always, remember the hashtag KTSC. If you don't know what it means, it's right there. My name. Keep that same energy from your host Justin P. and right hand man, the veteran of the vigilante, my co-host, your co-host, my brother, a partner in crime, my tag team partner, Mr. Maurice Savage Jr. Love y'all guys. Excuse me. We'll see y'all next week. Same bad time, bad channel. We are out.